I'm not going to front. I'm in a lot of pain right now. So I'm going to try to get through this in the best and most stoic way that I know how. I don't really want to focus on the negative parts. So I just want to tell my story about how Kevin Samuels, he influenced me to be a better man. Back in December of 2020, I was going through a very, very difficult time. The Rona was Ronin. I wasn't really making any real money. I locked myself in my apartment for pretty much all of 2020 from March 16 onward. I got something that I recommended, and it was live, and there were more than 10,000 people in the stream, and I couldn't understand why there were this many people in the stream. I spent a lot of time watching YouTube. Mrs. Evil can tell you, she really did hate it, but I came across, and there's this guy with what looks like a fake hairline, and he's speaking what seemed pretty harsh to me. He's speaking pretty harsh to this woman. And I showed him to Mrs. Evil, my first lady. I'm like, look at this asshole. Like, who is he to be talking to people like this? I was definitely in my feelings. But curiosity kills the cat, right? I decided to continue watching this video. And then, like, after the stream ended, I went and watched some of the streams that he had prior to that. And then it starts to dawn on me. He's not speaking this way for clicks and views. He's not speaking this way, out of malice. Is that the dude is just frustrated because it's like talking to a fucking wall. Some of the people he was talking to. And I'm really glad that I was able to get out of my feelings on that, because I ended up diving into the wormhole, Alice in Wonderland style. And I came across a lot of the older streams that he had before anybody knew the name Kevin Samuels. And when I tell you, he was like giving it to guys. I mean, just calling them losers straight up. Like, you're fat, you're short, you're broke. What the fuck are you worrying about some woman for? And right as I was about to warm up to his message, he mentioned something about guys wanting to be polyamorous, and how, broke guys, lazy guys, I think he said, if you're not working at least 60 hours a week, you shouldn't even be thinking in that direction. And here I am, a guy who is polyamorous successfully, at the time was more than 8 years. I'm thinking, who the fuck is this clown? Who is he to talk about, what relationship people should deserve or whatever? But again, I had to get out of my fucking feelings. I mean, I was laughing thinking that he's the fool, but then I had to go back to my analytical mind and let that take over. And then I say, well, I'm kind of an outlier. The vast majority of men that made the kind of money that I made at the time, yeah, they're not they're not going to be in a situation like that. So I had to remind myself that I cannot use my outlier situation to debunk what is a general truth for other people. And I think that is the legacy that Kevin Samuels leaves as he leaves this earth. You must argue in good faith. You can't use what happens to 0.00007% of the population and say, well, look at what could happen. No, we should probably be looking at what's likely to happen rather than, we can, any one of us can win the Powerball, right? But none of us are basing our retirement plan off that. Once I was able to get out of my feelings and actually listen to the messenger and stop thinking so fucking much about the way it sounds. Because I ain't gonna front, yeah, you sound like an asshole. If you watched as regularly as I did, I watched every YouTube stream that he had for like 6 months straight. I would almost never miss a broadcast. And in that time, I started to show more respect for the efforts that my ladies here at home have made. I recognized that I did not work hard enough. I didn't work hard enough to deserve the love that they've given me over the years. Just getting by isn't enough. You have to strive for something better. You have to strive for greatness. You have to put as much effort and energy into being better. I know a lot of people look at him differently, but I bet you if you ask my first lady, if you ask my second lady, what kind of man they would have preferred, what kind of man they prefer, the one post Kevin Samuels influence or the man that was pre Kevin Samuels discovery. And they'd both tell you without any hesitation that they prefer this version of me over the old version. I'm a more confident person. I work harder. I'm more ambitious than I've ever been in my life. I understand my role in my household so much better. And I'm not perfect, not by any means. I remember when I tried to get my dad to hear him out, and he's like, well, that guy is younger than me. There ain't nothing that he could say that would be worth a damn to me. And then I did a video reviewing a particular conversation he had with some delusional, unattractive woman. And my dad watched it. And then he was watching Kevin Samuels on a nightly basis for several months. And he was putting other guys onto him. My dad is not a high value man by Kevin Samuels' definition, but he's provided a lot of value to me to make me a better person, a better man, a better husband. I was watching Kevin Samuels last night at like 12:30 this morning. 12:30 this morning. And there he is, giving his time and his energy, trying to help these young ladies, these middle-aged ladies, these older ladies, whoever will call in, and he's trying to help them find answers. He signs off. He's like, I gotta, we started late tonight. Got a long day tomorrow. And then signs off. He signs off forever. The only thing I could really do is just think about the tools, the lessons that I learned from listening to him to be better. And I also just can't stop thinking about the fucking Red Bulls he was drinking like water. People begging him in the chat to drink some fucking water, some actual real water. So then he gets this fucking fancy ass crystal chalice thing, starts drinking actual real water, and then, you know, eventually it was just Red Bull, Red Bull, Red Bull, Red Bull, Red Bull. And you can see the kind of crazy schedule he put himself through. Flying here, flying there, full of ambition. I had a debate with Captain Paul about the post that he put up on our Twitter that I thought was premature. And I realized that I was just going through that first stage of grief, which is disbelief. You know, you don't want to accept. It was like, it brought me back to that moment when they started reporting that Kobe Bryant had passed away. I don't even like Kobe Bryant like that, but that same sense of profound sadness and disbelief. You know, one day you're on top of the world making moves, and that might be the thing that bothers me the most. I understand that tomorrow's not promised to anybody. Yeah, I understand that. You know, we can go at any time, and it doesn't matter what plans you had. Doesn't matter what you want to achieve. It doesn't matter how many people you still have left to help in this life. When you go, that's it. You know, I don't really care. I've decided I don't care how other people viewed him. I don't care. I know that he made, you know, once I was in TLA's back room during one of TLA's live streams, and Kemuel Samuels came in and he said hi to everybody that was back there waiting. And I just tried to fire off like the quickest, most comprehensive tribute that I could. I told him that he changed my life. He changed how I lived my life. He didn't like really respond directly because he was there to talk about Drake putting hot sauce in the condom. Today is a very painful day for me. But I understand that the shit that I have to accomplish, the shit that I have to do, I'm just going to continue to keep pressing forward. I think back to a couple of nights ago when he was talking to women over the age of 50, and he kept saying to those women in his age group, we don't have many sunsets left. He said that several times throughout the night. I'm gonna mourn his passing. I am in mourning. But I do so with the understanding that the best thing that I could do is continue to try to find that next gear to work harder. I'm never going to work as hard as he did, but I know that I can work harder than I do now. And I have to recommit to working hard, because one of the very first phrases I ever heard from him, it was not average at best. The first phrase I ever heard from him was, "Show your work." That's all I got for you. Thanks.